Now, if they continue to try and pressure you, once you know the trouble, then you go to step number 2, which is state the trouble. Hey, that's shoplifting. Hey, that's against the law. Hey, that's against the rules. In other words, you're being Captain Obvious. Why do we do that? Again, it makes it more real in your mind, but it also helps out your friend because maybe they haven't thought things through, but it puts you on the offensive. You say, hey, that's against the law. Going back to that example of going to your friend trying to talk you into going to Bill's house, and you finally found out that they're going to be having alcohol, and you say, hey, that's against the law. Or, hey, that's not something I want to do. Then if they continue, they're on the defensive. Hey, it's no big deal. No, everybody's doing it, blah, blah, blah. They're on the defensive. They're trying to convince you, but you're in charge. No, that's against the law. Then if they continue to try and pressure you, then you go to step number 3, list the consequences. Okay, so you're saying, hey, in my case, I'd say, hey, I could lose my job. My wife and kids would be embarrassed. My grandkids could be embarrassed. I'm drinking with minors now or whatever. And besides that, it goes against everything I feel strongly about. Go ahead and say that so that they know where you stand. But list all the consequences and list the consequences for them. Hey, and if your mom and dad were to catch you, I know they would kill you, or you would get kicked off of the soccer team, or whatever. List all those consequences, putting you in charge. Again, you're in control of the situation. Then they're the ones that are on the defensive. Yeah, but. So they're on the defensive. So list the consequences. Also, you're starting to see what kind of friend they are. Because if my friend is willing to risk me losing my job and my reputation with my wife, kids, and grandkids, I'm not sure that's really a friend I want to hang out with. So that's another benefit of listing all the consequences in that 3rd step. Then you go to the 4th step. If they continue to try and convince you, you list some alternatives. You list, hey, I'd lose my job, my reputation, my wife would be disappointed, whatever the case may be. You could get kicked off the soccer team. How about instead enlist an alternative? And if they're your friend, you probably know something they enjoy. And maybe my friend loves the ultimate breakfast burrito at taco time. I'd say, hey, how about instead we go to taco time and get us an ultimate breakfast burrito I'm buying. Okay? So what are you doing by that? You're still in charge of the situation, but you're also showing them that you don't dislike them as a person, but you dislike what they're asking you to do. You're saying, I want the friendship to remain, but it's got to be on my terms. Okay, so you're in charge of the situation again. Such an important step. So you need to think ahead. What are some alternatives you're going to give if you get in a pressure situation? What are some things that you would try and talk your friends into if they're trying to get you to do something that you don't feel comfortable with? And again, these steps need to be followed in order. Now, let's just say they continue to try and pressure you. Again, you might want to think, is this kind of friend I want that's willing for me to risk my reputation and my chance of whatever the case may be? But also, if you want to maintain the friendship, then you go to step number 5. And there's 3 parts to step number 5. Okay? Move it, meaning start getting up and walking away. Because in our society, because of the media, I blame the media, no means just talk, just pressure me long enough and I'll say yes. Instead of no, no means no. So we have to start moving away. We got to get up and start walking away and show them that we're serious.